Don't we all? On Smite number 406, recorded on October 22nd, 2015, I'm Brett Copeland.
I am Ryan Karin.
And I like cheese.
You do?
Yeah.
He's
Everyone likes
cheese.
I'm LincolnBob.
Loves cheese. And no bit burner tonight, so Al Kwong will be taking his spot.
No.
I'm sorry, what was your name again? I don't think we've ever met before.
LincolnBob?
Hi.
Hi.
Is that who you were talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
I didn't know what's going on.
I used to be on the
I'm
show.
sorry. I'm trying to make a bad joke about his attendance record, and it's failing.
And then
miserably.
life got in the way. I used to be on the show, and then life got in the way, and then I stopped being on this show, and now I'm here for today. Probably not next time.
It's all good. Oh, well, hey, how about we just go ahead and see what's...
I love that one.
What's a cracking? What's a crack-a-lacking? Well, let's see. We've been playing some Smite. I played a little bit of Smite. I still have not played Soul yet.
No. You missed her before she got nerfed.
Yes.
Yeah, it was way easier to play her last week.
Yes, you probably would have liked her, Brent, before she got nerfed too. She's right up your alley.
Uh-oh. That sounds awkward.
Naked?
No.
But I did master oh god, is it Hu Yi, the one with the bow?
Yeah.
Well, there's about 10 with a bow, but
but it's the one I don't like playing because it really anyway. But I found out like they had the match of the day where it was 3v3 and you were all Hu Yi. And I actually felt by the time I played like 3 matches that way that I knew what I was doing with the god, because you're just inundated and surrounded by that one god. You're seeing what other people are doing at the same time as well. Oh, that's cool. And what you're doing, what's working, what's not working. And I think maybe that's what I would like to see when they have new gods, put in the match of the day that week where you're all playing that god and get a few matches out of the way that way with it.
They do that sometimes, but usually it's a 5v5, and I find it's very counterproductive. I know I mastered Giannis in the very first week because they did a 5v5 joust all Giannis, and it was just ridiculous. And I won most of the matches by being the team tank because that's what I do, but that's not the right way to play Giannis. You don't tank with Giannis. And there's been a lot of the assassins, I'll confess, to mastering that way too, by playing them in the all Loki or the all Arachne match of the day. And it's really easy to tank in those because you just build one type of defense and no one's expecting you to tank. So you just go out and you have fun with it. It makes the mastery less painful, but it also makes the mastery meaningless because I didn't actually learn how to play Giannis or Loki or Arachne in those matches.
Well, but don't you learn all the things like building the gear just in general? Like, it's not super change between the gods and the matches. You're building against what you're playing against and that sort of thing, which you learn pretty much on all gods when you're playing. And so I think just learning the skill and mechanics of a god and not really the gear, because that's kind of the easy stuff to learn, I think, is what to buy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you do at least learn what the abilities do. You don't really learn to use them in the right way, though, at least the way I did it. I learned how to tank with the abilities, so I learned how to do escape with them, you know, that sort of thing, as opposed to actually learning how to be offensive with them, which those 3 characters are.
But you're always offensive with your abilities.
Not necessarily. Like when I was tanking
not
as
offensive.
Loki.
Offensive.
Oh, okay, fair enough. When I was tanking with Loki, I only used my invis and my ult to get away. I just went out and had them waste all their abilities on me, and then I escaped. You know, that's not what Loki is really supposed to do. It worked in that instance because I could build all physical defense and could actually make Loki a tank.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like Hu Yi. I think that Ricochet is absolutely fantastic, and when you pair him up with a Transcendence and, you know, something like a Soul Eater into an Exo, I mean, he becomes really, really powerful. And the fact that you can only crit him once is fantastic. And he's even, like, with the Ricochet, he has the ability to even jungle to an extent, which is really nice. So I like him. And that dive, since they buffed the dive, and you can straight up just jump up and then kill someone who's running away from you, or stun them and then do it. I mean, I love Hui. He's a blast to play.
I'm actually surprised we don't see more Jungle Hui because of how easily he can clear camps with that Ricochet. I mean, I've watched Okami do it, and she just absolutely destroys them in the first shot.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So, well, besides that and just working and other stuff, that's about what I've been up to. What about you, Joe? It's been a while. LincolnBob.
I have been up to life. I mean, we just bought a house, and we're moving soon, and it's going to be crazy, and some other stuff. And to be completely honest, it's I don't know, it's been nuts. I haven't had a whole lot of time for Smite, but I have had some, and I usually play during the day. And I play a lot with Bears, and sometimes Tree and the team party guys, and Okami, the team party girl. And we just have some fun during the day. So if not this next week, but after the weeks after that, after the move comes up, if anybody who's here or hears this wants to play during the day, I'm usually open. Feel free to add me. But yeah, it's I don't know. I've been trying to get my Diamond Bologna going. I finally got her up to rank 8. And I don't know, I'm waiting for a double or a triple worshiper weekend to get her up to diamond. But yeah, that's been the extent of my Smite playability. I've been putting up a lot of videos on YouTube to my YouTube channel, like little clips of us playing. And I've been pissing off Bears in the process because I usually put up weird things that involve him. Because he always says,
Andy Dufresne.
Yeah. You want to throw a match in style, try and kill Andy Dufresne in the fountain. It doesn't work. We had that game perfect, and it was a blast, man. I loved every second of that. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to.
Well, and speaking of playing with us, we keep talking about mentioning it every show, but you can join our clan, guild, whatever they call it in the game. We are we on Smite Podcast? Who are we?
I think we're just on Smite.
The tag, you had to get creative with the leet speak, so it's 5MLT3.
Yeah.
But it looks like Smite once you put it in, but it's 5MLT3. And I think it's just called On Smite.
So search for it, join it, and then you'll see when folks are on, and you can friend us and all that good stuff. And they come play. How about you, Raging? What you been up to? What's cracking?
I've been playing a fair bit. I got my Soul Mastery done, and I did it before she got nerfed. So, and the simple fact that she was a very hunterish, very attack-based god, and I did well with her, proved she needed to be nerfed. Because I am terrible with hunters, and she was obviously...
But she's a mage, Raging.
Yeah, except she's a hunter, or at least she was. I think the nerf is kind of fixing that, but she was definitely a hunter. And not to say that's a bad idea to have these hybrid classes, because a lot of the gods are, and certainly Zeus is in a similar frame of being kind of half hunter, half mage. A few interesting matches I had was I had a great one. I was playing with Okami one day, and we got this troll in our game in Assault. Okami got Hell, and Okami is a diamond Hell. She is probably the best healer I have ever played with. She's extremely good at healing. But it was just one where, aside from getting Hell in our party, the draw was completely against us, and we just got owned. And this one guy was getting really, really pissed off, saying, oh, you're the worst Hell ever, and you don't know how to cleanse people. And I mean, the CC was insane on the other team. She couldn't keep us all cleansed all the time. She did a great job. This guy just was a dick. And he ended up, he absolutely trolled the game at the end. He intentionally fed. He went and sold all of his items and bought garbage instead when he was back in base. Like, it was just stupid. So then Okami and I queue up for the next match. And guess who's on the other team? And this time he is playing Guan Yu. So he's the team healer this time on his other team. Anyone who is good at Assault knows that when you're Guan Yu in Assault, you are the healer, so you buy CDR. This guy bought nothing. He tried to full tank. He kept trying to focus Okami and Okami just absolutely destroyed him. So karma's a bitch, dude. And I'm not going to name the guy, but yeah, he got what was coming to him. Another really fun assault match that I had was about a week ago. The servers had some trouble, and what ended up happening was the match got semi-corrupted, and 2 players on both sides got DC'd. But the weird thing about it was it ended up being a 3v3 all-mage assault. It was ridiculously fun. So I actually think they should look at that for match of the day. I really do, because it was so much fun. I was Zeus, and I had a Saul, and I forget who the other one was. The other team had Ra, which was a little unfair because they had their healer. But it was a great match, and we did end up winning, even though they had their healer. So there was that. And about the only other thing was I'm trying to mess around with my user interface these days, based on some advice, again, from Okami, to try and... I really need to get my map awareness up, especially as I'm just starting to move into Conquest. I've been playing a little bit of support. I actually tried support for the first time in a match with the Team Party people. It didn't go well, but I don't think that was my fault. It was just a bad match. It didn't go well in general. And I wasn't really even aware you could do this, but I've made my mini map way bigger and I've moved it more into the middle of the screen. So it's a lot easier to pay attention to it. Yeah. So it's kind of a general tip, I guess, for anyone who's who finds, because I'm really bad for it. I don't pay attention to the mini map at all. I mean, you guys have seen how often, as Ares, I'll ult in arena and find that no one else is anywhere nearby. So
yeah, there's kind of a change in it, and it's how I guess the game functions. Law, like, you pretty much played the game looking at the mini-map because of you could really see a lot more stuff on the mini-map, especially once you had wards and stuff up. And it's just not the same for some reason with Smite. I don't know if it's just because there's so much more to look at in the game than having that top-down look at. But yeah, the mini-map is hugely important, so that's a really good tip. So I guess we got some other random stuff here to talk about. The big thing, I guess, going on now is the reaping.
The reaping.
And this is part 1. A few things. First, Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. If you win all 5 of your matches each day, you can win 100 gems a day. So that's 300 gems you could win, which is a great weekend for it because at the same time, they're having a 50% off sale of a ton of skins. It looks like, I don't know, 30 skins or so.
Yeah, it's all the ones that kind of feel like Halloween costumes to me. Like it's the Ghostbuster Zhonghui, for instance. Like it's really themed well, I think.
Save your gems. Save your gems for that Ale Kwong skin, man. That thing is going to be amazing.
True. That is true.
So is that... are we on to that yet? Or let's see, final week of regular SPL this weekend. Super Regionals start November 17th. The separate tournament for North America and Europe, except a wildcard match.
And then, basically the third place finishers from each of those 2 regions, because only the top 2 from each region automatically get into the Smite World Cup. The 2 third place teams from each then fight for a 5th spot. So that's the only cross region action that's going on in that tournament.
Sweet.
Kind of like treats for Halloween.
Mm-hmm. And I do like that the reaping is definitely stated as part 1, which means, we've got another week. The weekend following this one is the true Halloween weekend, so there's probably going to be a reaping part 2. So look forward to that.
So more candy, more gems. Gems are the candy, right?
Absolutely.
So hopefully we'll see 4 billion worshippers per match. I guess not that generates the system.
No.
But anyway, it's some kind of...
That is one interesting point, though, is that this isn't a bonus worshippers weekend, which is a little bit weird for the special events. Usually the special events always have a double worshippers, but this time they don't.
I'm guessing next week will probably be double worshippers then.
Perhaps.
Do you think they'll? Because so far, they've gone up to triple worshippers. Do you think they will go up to even 5 times if you have 5 people in your group?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
I think actually from some of the tweets I saw about it, it might have been bugged and did that at first when they did the triple. That if you had 5 people in your party, you got 5 times worshippers. I didn't see it happen, so I don't know 100% if that's true.
The code's there, though. All they got to do is put the bug back in.
To be honest, I kind of agree with Bitburner on this. I think having the extra worshippers tends to make people... his concern was more on the double XP, but also the double worshippers, I think, counts for this. It gets people leveled up before they're really ready. You know, you can master a god in 3 lucky wins when it's double worshippers. I don't think that really does a good job of teaching you who the god is and how to play them properly. So
I think the whole system, if you're looking at the system to find out if someone's any good, I think the whole system's broken for that these days. Just because it's like by the time you get through mastering the diamond you had mastered first, all suddenly, hey, they might have even changed the kit at this point. So there's no telling how good you're going to be in any god. I don't know. I almost wish they had left the levels just open-ended, not ended at 30, never end. And you just keep getting experience, and then now you play someone who's level 4,000, and you're like, okay, God, they must have been playing a lot, you know?
Well, yeah, I've got 2,400 worshippers with Ares. That's 2 and some times diamond.
Right.
So, yeah, that is absolutely true. And level 30, I mean, it took us a while to get there. It seemed at the time, but, you know, to look back on it, I don't remember it being that difficult to get to level 30.
Yeah, now there's another year down the pipe. At some point, everybody's going to have pretty much everything mastered just by playing the game for so long, and you're just not going to know what means anymore. And that's kind of why, at one point, I kind of wanted a regression in like you would keep skins, but like your levels would go down and up. The more you played a god or the less you played a god, and so you would know. How much have they been playing that guy lately? Or maybe it's like a reset some kind of scoring every month or every couple months or something.
And it also raises the question of how many diamonds is enough. I'm almost to my 5th on Guan Yu. 2 of my diamonds I never ever play anymore because I have given up trying to play mages, so I don't play Ra or Kukulkan anymore. And yeah, it's kind of the point where I don't see why you would want more than say 8, because then you've got a fairly good pool for at least for casual play. Of course, this is different for if you're a pro, but for us casual players, I mean, you get 8 gods to diamond. You shouldn't need to level anyone else up other than just the basic mastery.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's fun stuff. Y'all know how I feel about worshippers, so I'm not going to get into it again. I'll have to take another episode when I'm drinking too much and forget that I've talked about it way too much. So still no news on who the skin will be for the Odyssey.
Well, there's some debate on that. I'm being told in chat that it's definitely not this crazy Ao Kuang skin that just got leaked this afternoon. I would actually love to see Ao Kuang be the top tier skin. I think it fits very well with the fact that he's a hyper carry. I think it fits very well with the fact that he is the Dragon King who can transform into a dragon. So I can see it, starting off very basic and then him getting more and more dragon-like as the game goes on. Yeah. And probably his dragon form would get more badass too when you use your ult. I think that would be a great idea for it to be Ao Kuang now. Again,
and they could do a second one. Well, yeah, if you look at the actual Odyssey, it actually says under it that Ao Kuang skin is. It doesn't say. Well, actually, I'm going to pull up and see what the actual verbiage is. But it does say an Ao Kuang skin is the reward for the next tier in the Odyssey.
Oh, okay. I did not see that, and I was looking at their website today. So,
yeah, it's just part of like. When you click on the Odyssey and click on the collection bonuses, The next collection reward says Ao Kuang Skin Dragon Knight.
Damn.
And so that's at 6.
Well,
but it could still be Ao Kuang, just a different skin. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's my second guess wrong then, because my first guess was Robin. But from looking at the in-game one, I have a feeling that he's got a skin that's just part of the Hindu stage of the Odyssey. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't think he gets enough gameplay for them to make a huge deal about him being the last stop on the Odyssey. I think it would probably be something more along the lines of like a huge Thor, Bellona, or a Sun Wukong skin, since they typically see more play in pros and casuals. And there hasn't really been a skin other than the diamonds for Bellona for either 3 of those gods that have come out. So,
so now we know which way the map's going in the trail. Do we know now where it's going to end?
We know that it ends in Egypt, but last time it was a Greek god, and the Odyssey started in Greece, so I don't think it's that. We can't rely on that. Let's put it that way.
Right. Well, and the it's like that. The Pantheon thing. So yeah, I guess I'll have to just keep speculating. If you think you know, tell us, call us. You can go to speakpipe.com/onsmite and let us know who you think the skin will be. And we'll tell you you're wrong. No one knows. No one knows, right? Okay, so Paladins. Founders Pack will be $20. We'll get you in the early access. I think the announcement that Overwatch the beta would be starting in November might push the timetable for Paladins to do the same or be about. Because I think that's going to be a war there between those two games.
Potentially. I mean, they've updated the website, so they actually list the Founders Pack. There's certainly a lot of tweets from the Paladins development team suggesting that they are very close to it coming out. So
I'm excited for that one. I really want to do the show. I'm trying to get we may be reviving Control Point for Paladins. So that'll be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, especially if it's the same kind of model as Smite, where you can get in and get all the characters for $20. That'll be a hell of a deal.
Yeah. And the whole card thing is really interesting to me, to see how they're going to implement that.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I'm not sure how that'll play out, but I mean, is it going to be all randomized with the cards? I mean, you build your deck and then you get your random cards at random times. I can see that being quite frustrating, actually, but
I don't know. I know as you're playing, you can get cards while you're playing and actually change your kit mid-game. I don't know if they're going to say, well, if you're playing a certain character, you're going to get those cards, or is it going to be chance that you get a card, or do all the cards work for all the classes just in different ways? I don't know. Like turn fire ability into, frost ability, something like that. But we'll just have to see.
We will have to see.
And speaking of seeing, let's talk about this. So, Patch, see here that Saul had some abilities nerfed, ult buffed.
Yep, Saul's worthless.
I don't know if it's worthless. I mean, I'll admit I haven't played her because I got her mastered before, and I don't really have any interest in playing her. But just from reading her nerfs, and then the fact that they buffed her ult, I think they're really focusing on just making her, rebalancing her more as mage, less as hunter. Because really what they've taken away is the stuff that was making her auto attack damage insane. And on the flip side, then they're countering that by giving her ult, which of course is every mage's bread and butter, getting her ult a buff to make it a little more relevant. So That's what I suspect is really the motivation behind this, is just to make her more mage, less hunter.
Well, that's good. I definitely like mages, so you're probably right. I need to go play Soul, get a little Soul. Khepri nerf. What'd they do to Khepri?
If I remember right, they just increased some of his cooldowns, didn't they, Joe?
I believe they lowered his cooldowns and I think added some protections for him, but I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head.
I know with the Artemis buff, they reduced some of her mana costs and increased her cooldowns. Because, I mean, it's funny. It seems like every time I face an Artemis, I don't know if I just don't know how to play against her. I often get wrecked trying to tank against an Artemis.
Yeah,
but
you can't tank an Artemis.
Yeah, you never see her played in the Pro League, so it's obvious that she needed something.
Yeah.
So yeah, they Scarab's Blessing will now revive targets with less health,
right,
and a longer cooldown. They found Khepri was turning the tides of battle too much. Bologna, they improved accuracy of inner ground targeter. Yay.
Yeah, that's just a technicality, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so also some item changes here. Bluestone pendant.
Yeah, this one's amusing to me because they certainly, I mean, they've been trying to play with Bluestone for a while now. They had planned to do a big nerf on the damage over time. They were going to knock it down. I think it was 18% or something like that. Now, and then they didn't after the test server. Now they're just shaving 5 attack damage off of it, but keeping the damage over time the same. So they're obviously concerned about over nerfing it, but it seems to me like it's a bit of an OP item. Again, maybe I don't really know how to play against it, but as someone who likes to play solo lane, when I do venture into Conquest, and as soon as I see a Sun Wukong on the other side, I'm just like, oh crap, because I know he's going to have a Bluestone, and he's really good at Sun Wukong's really good at landing his abilities, and it makes him clear waves like nobody's business.
That's where it's becoming like huge. It's not so much against players, although it is nice if you get them down low enough and then that extra tick from Bluestone kills them. But usually if they pop a potion, I mean, it doesn't do anything. It's the early game clearing the wave that's really becoming a problem, because like people like Sun Wukong or gods like Sun Wukong can come out level 2 or 3, clear a wave faster than anybody with his strength, and therefore level up faster and become, significantly stronger earlier in the game. Near the end of the game, it's not so much of an issue, but it's getting gods up there quicker, and especially gods that have like high wave clears, like your Neiths and your Hoyis and your Giblanques. Bluestone is definitely like pushing them a little bit further than it needs to, and these gods that have really good wave clears are becoming too strong too quickly.
And especially these warriors that have 3 damaging abilities like Wukong that are relatively easy to land. You can, if you level your 1, 2, 3, by level 3, you can get Bluestone working on your targets 3 times in the matter of just a couple seconds. So,
and I love that they finally buffed the Adventurer's Blade. Finally gave it an icon.
What a significant change that is to gameplay balance. Absolutely.
So that's awesome. We
I don't think it's been updated yet.
We wish you well, Adventurer's Blade.
I had never even noticed that it was sharing an icon with something else. So
let me just double check. I don't even think it's been updated yet.
I go by name on everything anyway. I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to what the icons are.
Yeah. Oh, they did update it. Okay, that's pretty. That's nice.
So we also have new god skins. King Arthur tier.
I love that skin.
It looks
awesome.
My
goodness.
Yeah,
it is a blast.
Awesome.
I'm actually surprised that it's not part of the Odyssey. It looks so good.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised they only made it 400 gems instead of 600 coming out of the gate.
That is true too.
And Idusa is coming up for the Odyssey, and the card looks incredible. It's going to be
that looks like a creepy skin.
Really cool.
And this
skin.
I think the idea that's really cool about this is that they took this from the community. Like the community, someone in the community came up with this idea, did the artwork for it, and Hi-Rez just looked at it and said, "This is awesome. We're going to put this in the game."
That's one thing I really love about Smite's community is that the Hi-Rez is so open to implementing whatever people come up with. And when people come up with this stuff, they're like, they have the resources to do it. They have the resources to put it in the game and model it, but then also put together an awesome voice pack with it too, which I love. So,
but we have to wait a week for that. They unveiled it now because it's in the patch, but we can't unlock it until next week.
You can unlock it. I have it.
You can get it now? I thought you couldn't.
Idusa?
Oh, Idusa? Oh, no, Idusa's not.
No. Yeah, this week you can unlock the Chinese lantern.
I thought we were talking about tiers still. Yeah.
No. Oh, okay. No, sorry. No, because week 4 in the Odyssey is the Chinese lantern skin or global emote, which is a little bit weird. I don't know if you guys have tried it yet. It's instead of immediately identifying where you are by shooting the firework up in the sky like the firework one does, this thing lasts like 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So you put it somewhere and it just basically tells anyone who comes along that someone was there recently. Yeah. They aren't going to know who, but they're going to see this Chinese lantern just floating in the air.
I like to mess with people and curse and like put one of those out and then walk around the corner and be like, dude, who did that? Who's here? And then just kind of mess with people. It's fun.
It's psychological warfare in a sense. But I don't see it being an overly good idea to use other than, in base sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just to troll. Bob wants to troll. Anything else in the patch that we need to talk about?
An updated draw card, Zippity Hoo-Wah.
Yeah.
And no. The Mail of Renewal got the health nerfed down to 250, but
they keep nerfing it.
It's still an overpowered item, no matter. I mean, especially if you're a god that can get assists easily. I mean, you get your health regen off the assists as well. So if you're a Neath and you have that global ult, and you get someone to get killed, or Gibalanke who gets an assist off his ult as well, or any god that has a huge area damage, it's really overpowered for those guys. So especially in team fights in Conquest.
And also, Hi-Rez will be in PAX Australia, which is going on right now, right?
I think so.
Is it started already? I don't know.
October. Oh wait, no. October 30th through November 1st. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say people on Twitter are still talking about preparing to go.
Yeah, I got that backwards because someone I was talking to about getting us a guest said that they were getting ready for PAX Australia, and I figured they meant they were going over there. But I guess it takes a little bit to actually go to Australia if you don't live there. So.
You mean Maz isn't going?
I don't know. Maz really, maybe. I don't know. I know he's going to Taylor Swift. I don't know if that's at the same time or not. So we'll see. But if you can't go, you'll be able to play Paladins for sure. Hi-Rez APC will be doing and some other developers will be doing a Secrets of Free-to-Play, how FTP is driving the future, in the Gala Theater, and the first ever Smite Oceania. Oceania. I'm stroking out over here. Sorry. Championship happening at the arena stage. So go check that out and get us some pics. Send them to us. And then some other stuff will be there as well. So go look at it.
I do know our friend Mercuraz is going. He's flying over from New Zealand to attend. So we'll see what he can find.
Yeah, tell him we sent you.
let him know we exist.
Yeah. Anybody dressing up as a god for Halloween?
Well, I've already got the gut going, so maybe I'll just sit around on my couch and be Bacchus for a night.
I was thinking that's about the only Smite god I can be is Bacchus. Just grow the beard out a little bit, throw a bed sheet on. I could be. I think you could pull off Bologna. Really? Yeah, well, maybe.
Big hammer.
Well, and that's if you really want to know how to pull off Bologna, this week they released the Loki cosplay kit, and they'll be releasing more and more cosplay kits between now and the SWC. Scylla's up, and also Bologna has a cosplay kit as well. So you can go check it out. You might want to use it for Halloween itself if you attend that holiday. I don't know if that's the right wording, but
observe, I think, is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, it was so funny because Maz, he's from Australia, and he's like, I just don't get Halloween. Like, they don't do it.
Really?
And so he doesn't really understand. And so it's funny having that discussion of what it is and what you do. And he's like, people give you candy for free.
Not for free. You got to be dressed up.
That's true. That's true.
And sometimes you get other things, and they're not candy. They're bad.
No.
Like toothbrushes or apples. Like, what the crap? That's one thing interesting I found out. As a parent, you worry about all that Halloween stuff, and like my parents used to, inspect all the candy before you eat it.
Inspect, aka take all the Twix.
Yeah, you can take it down to most of the hospitals, and they'll X-ray it supposedly, things like that, which is silly because that's a waste of money. Because there's not been one single case where someone's actually put something in candy that's killed people, like razor blades, except for there are 2 cases where there were drugs put into the candy, but both instances turned out that they were the family of the people, and one of them was like someone was hiding their drugs and like stashed it in the kid's candy or something, and the other one was someone was trying to kill their kid. So those were the 2 ways.
Oh,
so
nice.
Accept whatever candy anyone gives you out there, and feel free to chew on it. Wait, maybe that's not the message.
So I don't know if they do it where you guys live, but here they have turquoise pumpkins that you can get, or you can just get a small pumpkin and paint it like a turquoise color. And this is completely off topic, so I'm sorry. But you put out the turquoise pumpkin, and it's a sign to everybody else who comes by your home that you offer items that are like gluten-free and dairy-free and stuff that like basically stuff that's not candy.
Those will be the first pumpkins I throw in the street. No.
Yeah. That's a way to advertise that your house is ready to be TP'd.
Yeah.
That's all it is. If you tried that up here, that's exactly what it would be. You would get a few dozen eggs covering your windows.
Yeah, Eric and his girl may be coming over here for Halloween, and I want to set up in the garage and have people come to the garage and have like a thing set up where they can't come into the garage, and then we just toss them their candy. But then I'm worried we'll get sued like that restaurant that throws the rolls. Like if we knock out someone's cornea or something. But, do something like that. Just throw it at the kids.
The joys of living in the U.S. You always have to be worried you're going to get sued for anything you do.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I didn't hit the mailbox today, so we don't have any mail in the male sack or in the female sack, either one.
I'm not sure what that would be.
I was just making sure that I wasn't being sexist.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is important.
The person sack. Now I don't know where
it's gender neutral sack.
So, any questions from the chat room? Hey, you can do that. You can put some questions there. Next week, this is really big. Our guest is going to be none other than F-Dot.
F-Dot. Woo!
F-Dot.
So that's really awesome. Really excited about that. We'll be hitting at the same time, about 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. So be sure to tune in. Follow us on Twitter, on Smite Podcast, so you can see where we're going to post the Reddit questionnaire. So if you want to send in questions for F-Dot or call in, you can do that as well. I don't know if we have
What's that address, Brent, for calling in?
Oh, yeah, that's speakpipe.com/onsmite. And then, of course, our website's onsmitepodcast.com. Do we have any more giveaways? Any more? No keys left.
Oh, no.
No keys left. So we'll be getting some more keys in that we'll add to the site.
Hey, Gabe, did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
No more keys left, Gabe?
Yeah,
I'm just saying, Gabe, if you're listening.
I hate hitting Gabe up anymore because he's the one who got us F-Dot, and he's talking to some other people at
never mind.
Smite to get us.
We love you, Gabe. We love you, Gabe. Please don't hate us.
We need like a bat signal, only it's the Gabe signal. It's just whenever we need help.
It's just him with the spear. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's his silhouette works in the sky. That'd be awesome. Or on Twitter. Just his silhouette in Twitter. I'm gonna do that.
Or we're just sitting here and like paper with the codes on them just fall on our heads. Oh, thanks for the codes, Gabe.
That's how he makes it rain. It's not dollar bills. It's pieces of paper with codes on it. So still waiting on that Artemis Convention 2012 skin.
Still waiting.
Just saying.
Any day now. Any day now.
Well, actually, I'm hoping I can get it through the Odyssey because it is apparently in the Odyssey chest, and I have most of the things in the Odyssey chest, which is a sad testimonial to how much money I've thrown at this game. But that said, it does mean I've got really good odds of getting it. So,
yeah, I think I'm going to say let's go ahead and end the show a little bit because I really want to get to go play a game of Smite. I haven't been able to play today yet. So I'm in after talking. So I'll go ahead and stream some games so you can stay on the channel if you want. But we're going to go ahead and call the show. And like we said, thanks for tuning in. We'll have another guest next week. This week, of course, was LincolnBob. He was the guest.
Yep.
Always welcome back, though.
It just means my wife's not here tonight.
As she walks in the door and is
I love you, honey. Don't kill me.
So there we go. Thanks, everyone, and I will see you next week.
Peace.